Okay, so the Women's Rugby World Cup final takes place next Saturday at Twickenham between Canada and England, and it's shaping up to be a really close final. I think England on world ranking are the favourites. Canada are ranked second in the world, so this has actually gone to the form guide. This was, if you went by seeding, the expected final. Now, I think Canada up to this point have played the best. I think they've played the best. I still think the Canadians can also improve. On the England side of things, there were some areas where I think there is massive room for improvement, especially kick receptions and defensively as well. They get very narrow, and Canada, with how they destroyed the Black Ferns, if we're being kind, they sucked the New Zealand defence in, and then they quite happily expanded wide. They used their width really well. And with England against France, the 3 French tries came from England getting very narrow defensively. Now, if England are to win this game, they have to slow down Canada's recycling rate at ruck time. The Canadian ruck speed is ridiculous. It is the quickest in the World Cup. It's the most efficient in the World Cup. And especially in the quarter-final and semi-final, the speed at which they were recycling the ball, the Black Ferns couldn't cope with it. And that's an area that England need to try and contest. They need to contest the rucks. They can't just sit off and let Canada have quick ball. They need to contest that. They need to put bodies in there, but they need to do it legally. And that's something that England have struggled with, is their penalty count. There were periods in the semi-final against France where it was penalty after penalty after penalty. Now, I think England got lucky they weren't given a team warning and or a yellow card for repeat infringements. So England have got to work on their discipline, and they have to contest that breakdown. They did that very well against France, in what was a scrappy game. If we're being honest, it was a scrappy game. I think the weather conditions impacted the second semi-final. Canada were playing New Zealand before the bad weather hit. I do think though that the Canadians, as I say, have played the best. They've had the most settled lineup as well. They've made very few changes to their lineup, whereas England, they've made changes. I don't think they've settled on a preferred 15. They've made changes with the fly half roll and inside centre. They have rotated that. Kildun at fullback, hopefully she's fit. Towards the end of the game against France, she looked like she was carrying a leg injury of some kind, a muscular one, probably a dead leg, but let's hope it's nothing more than that. Because with Kildun in the side, they look better as an attacking threat, and they also look better defensively. Just with the support line she runs in attack, but also the cover defence that she gives. She's a very good defensive fullback as well as an attacking fullback. It'll be interesting to see who gets the start of fly half for England, because that is something that was experimented with in the pool stages and in the quarter final. You've got, Rowland, Aitchison, Harrison. It's going to be interesting to see who actually gets that starting fly half role for the final. And they have done a bit of experimentation there, which will be interesting. Yes, they've got options. They've got depth in that position. That is fine. But Canada seem more settled in their lineup and their processes. And with England getting narrow defensively against France, the Canadians have got some really good width, and they weren't scared to go wide against the Black Ferns and exploit those wide channels. So I do think this is going to be a very close final. It's going to be a close final. If England and Canada both play their best, we could have extra time here. We could be going to extra time. I honestly believe this could be a very close one. I think the winner of this final is going to win. It's going to be within a try. A converted try. I can't see it being a blowout score like Canada did against the Black Ferns or England did against France. How Canada in their first half and England in their second half really blew out the scoreline a little bit. I can't see that happening. I can see this being very close. I can see this being an arm wrestle, which I think might suit the Canadians. I think having an arm wrestle might suit the Canadians a little bit. The weather conditions look really good at the moment. They look very settled. Pleasant conditions, dry conditions, which it's been mixed conditions this World Cup, so that could be interesting. It may suit a more running game. The final has sold out, so let's see how the players respond to having over 80,000 at Twickenham. That could also impact how both teams play. Could nerves be part of it? Because England looked a bit nervy against France, whereas Canada, they just looked calm, controlled, settled. England looked a bit nervy against France in that first half at periods. So I think there's more pressure on England than Canada, considering England have gone unbeaten since the last final. And Canada, I mean, look, they have really built some momentum here. So this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a close one. And I'm not going to predict a winner, but at the moment, Canada have been playing better. England do have that little bit more depth, but it's going to be interesting to see who they select at fly half. And, who's going to keep... can England reduce their penalty count a little bit? They have been giving away a lot of penalties at the breakdown. And can their scrum and line out function a little bit better than it has been doing? Because Canada's set piece is scary good, like really, really, just we're talking high 90s% for successful line outs and scrums. So it's going to be a battle. Discipline's going to be key, and whoever can adapt to a packed Twickenham and the atmosphere. And what looks like very settled playing conditions, so I think it's going to be a quick-paced game as well. I think the pace of the game is going to be quite quick. But there we go. That's a little preview of the final. England against Canada. It's going to be a fun one. But for me, for now, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts on who you think is going to win the final in the comments section below, and I'll have some more content for you all very, very soon.